Oh, yay. I am alive. Hey, folks, Lester here, and it is a blessing, just a pleasure to be with you today. Thank you guys for jumping in and joining the live. I know we're kind of cutting in the middle of your day. I hope you guys are at home enjoying lunch or on the workplace having your lunch. I just ate. Jamie made tater tots. Jamie, yes, she used our air fryer and cooked me some healthy tater tots. They are healthier than if they were fried. I do have those. Blah. Hey, Kate, hold on a minute. I have seen this stranger. Hold on. Well, hello, stranger. Fancy meeting you here. Kate Power. You think that's a real last name? Do y'all ever think about when you see someone's last name? Because really, with Facebook, YouTube, you could name yourself whatever you wanted to, but I recognize the name, and so hello there, Kate Power. And she says, hello from over the pond, Lester. Wouldn't y'all just love to hear a Brit talk? I just love their accents, y'all. And now listen, Kate, it's nice seeing you. But listen, we have so much to talk about today, and we have a special guest. We have a special guest. I almost said visitor, and then I almost said guest. So I kind of said we have a yeah. That's how it all came out. I do know what everyone wants to talk about. I know what you want to talk about, and you're going to have to give me a couple of seconds here. I'm going to get myself a drink, and then I have to go out and grab somebody. I got to go grab somebody. And while I grab that somebody, I'm going to put someone else here to entertain you. But don't believe a word she says about me. You hear me? I'm going to bring someone on to entertain you while I go out and grab somebody else. But do not believe a word that comes out of her mouth. Wait until I get back, and then I will set the record straight. Can we agree on that? All right, let me get my drink poured first. I love Fridays. Fridays has become my favorite day. I'm not showing you what I'm pouring because people have been mean to me. Not really mean, but a lot of motherly types are concerned. I'm going to kind of like paraphrase a similar email that I think probably one of the most recent is that, Lester, I'm very concerned because I know you're under a lot of stress and pressure from the drought and from all the new births and the heat. And it seems like you're drinking more than normal. And I'm like, thank you for noticing all of the drought and all the pressure. But no, I've always drank usually a drink a day. I don't really ever drink before the evening chores are done, but that was nice that you noticed. So don't worry about that. But y'all don't want to hear me talk today. I know. I'm already reading the comments, Lester. A lot of folks are talking about my new look. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. But listen, first things first, I'm going to go bring someone in. But before I leave, let me bring in this person.
Hi.
Don't
You
stop.
invited me here. You better look a little happier to see me.
So I did invite you here because my entire page, both of my channels on both platforms have been taken over with how wonderful and how blessed and how lucky I am for this girl that I have
I'm
joining
gonna
me today.
blush. I'm glad at least someone thinks nice things about me.
Everyone says nice things about you, and even I say nice things about you. I give you a hard time because you're my niece. You're my only niece, and that makes you take double the hard time that you get from your uncle and uncle, your dad and our pawpaw. We all give you a hard time, and so you've grown up with lots of cousins, male cousins, and so you've learned how to take it like a champ, and
I
we
had to
love that
learn to
about
fight
you.
back. I had to learn to pick back.
Yeah, you did. You did have to learn to fight back, and you don't take crap from anybody, and you never have, and I love that. And we'll talk more about your channel and about what you've been doing and all of those things. But boy, I got something to show you today that you're not going to be able to talk yourself out of. I'm going to show you when I
Oh
get back.
gosh.
I'm going to go grab somebody, and we're going to talk about her first. And then once I put her back in her spot, we're going to talk about you. So do you have about 20 minutes to spend with me?
Yep. I don't know who you're going to get, but you get out of here so I can talk about you.
You know who I'm going to go. You know who I'm going to go
get out of here so I can talk about you with Chad over here.
You better keep it clean and keep it Christian, Brienne. You hear me?
I don't know. Hi, everybody. Now that we're alone, let's talk about Lester a little bit. I'm just kidding. I don't have a lot to say about him, nothing bad, but I'm telling y'all, he has a drink in his hand every time I see him. I think y'all are right. I think that drinking is pretty heavy. I don't remember that, but no, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. He's not a heavy drinker. I'm going to try to read. We got flashback there in the background. I'm going to try to read some comments and talk to y'all. Y'all would be so proud of me. I have a ring light set up today and everything. I was so prepared for this, really. But, okay. Let's see. Can I click on a comment and show it up here? Lester better hurry back. I'm going to have all kinds of stuff messed up on his live stream. I only have water in my cup.
Okay. I am back.
Hi, Danny.
And I am being joined by Danny, D-A-N-I, or when she's in trouble, she's Danielle. The same way your mom has screamed at you, Brienne Danielle. I hear your dad all the time, even now, Brienne Danielle. I can hear your mom and dad scream from across the pasture when you've been bad.
I'm just honored to finally have an animal named after me. Finally.
Well, you deserve it.
I mean, that's kind of wrong that it had to be a cow, but that's okay. I'll take it.
I will say that you were instrumental in helping us deliver her safely. And I don't want to ever forget how you may have even saved her mama's life, Bree, by being there when I couldn't. And that's been one of, she is looking like, what in the world am I seeing here? You remember that girl? You remember her? She's looking into the camera, which is cute, looking right at you.
Beady eyes. Her eyes are big, but they're just focused right in.
She doesn't understand what's going on. She's never been on video like this before. She's never seen herself in videos. But I will say, Brienne, that she's doing wonderful. We are bottle feeding, obviously. And then I'm not going to keep her here in my lap long. She's still such a baby. And she's still trying to figure out her legs and figure out how her body works.
Kind of that awkward.
Huh?
Like a really awkward.
And she's at that age. Yeah, they're at that age where her legs are wobbly and she can hardly stand up. And it's like every baby. You always say how cute babies are, but in real life, you're like, they're not really that cute at all.
Yeah.
So I think that she's cute as a baby, but you got one ear that's back and one ear that's out, and you got a fly on her forehead, and her little face is just so sweet, though.
She looks very confused.
She is very confused, and she doesn't know how she can see you, but she doesn't see you. It's just like a piece of you. So she will get used to the cameras the same way everyone else does around here. But I wanted everyone to see this sweet girl who, yes, we did name after you. There were a lot of folks who, before I even made my video, were suggesting that we call her Breezy.
Yeah, I saw this too.
Yeah, and that would have been a good name as well. I don't know. I just kind of thought that we have old Danny Boy, our donkey, but we don't really have a sweet little Danielle. We've never had a Danielle. And so I wanted to try to find a way to put you into it because you were so big and such a huge part in all that entire day.
You came at just the perfect moment that day, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to go as far as to say you stole a really great video from me. So I feel that it was owed to me to have that cow named after me.
So I didn't steal the video from you. I needed your hands. I needed your soft and feminine hands for what had to be done. We'll talk more about that, okay? But I needed your hands more on her than I did on that phone of yours. And
I think you just didn't want to do the dirty job.
no, my hands are too big, Bree. My hands
No,
are
I know
big.
it. I
And
was wrist deep in a cow that day, okay?
and you have experience in stuff like that, and I don't have as much, obviously. But
Not
it
typically
all,
with cows though. I'm working with like dogs and cats. That's a much smaller scale.
but you kind of know things, and that's so you do have a I forgot what they call that, but a skill set. You have a skill set that a lot of folks don't have. And I made sure that in my Facebook version of the video, where I kind of did a narration instead of just the video, I talked a lot about the behind the scenes and the experience that you bring to the table, the fact that you were there. And then I didn't even realize this, but when I was watching your version of the video, you'd been in that sun for so long that your phone was running hot.
Yeah. I
Not to
kept
mention
having to
you and
go.
you and your babies had to be just burning
We
up.
were all there. I almost fell out of my chair. I was having to go into the barn in the shade and go in that stall where that fan was blowing and take my case off of it and let the air blow in it. And it was taking like 5 or 10 minutes every single time to actually get my phone working again to go back out and record.
No,
So,
no.
yeah, it was lots of fun.
Well, you know what you should have done is what I did. When I pulled up, I brought my truck right into the pasture.
Yeah.
So because I didn't know how long it was going to take, so my plan was to sit there in the truck with the AC running, grab my video from inside the comfort of my truck. You were out there walking around on your darn side by side with your babies.
Yeah.
And but that's just you and that's fine. So I'm gonna have one last speak of her, everybody. If y'all want to say hi, now's your chance. I'm gonna walk her back to the bathroom over here where we're keeping her in the cool. And that right there, y'all, is little Bree. Danny is her name. Danielle when she's in trouble. All right, just like her mom and Brienne's mom and dad. It'll be Danielle when she's in trouble. But I don't picture her being too much trouble. She's an angel.
Oh, yeah, right.
I'm going to give it back to you, Bree. I'll be
Guys, he says that calf is not going to be too much trouble. And I think that he is forgetting what it is like to have a bottle baby because there's no personal space there. I still have to drive circles around Myra to keep her from attacking me because she wants to get in my lap or she wants to ride the mule with me. So he forgot. And she's a Longhorn. I think she's going to be a little bit bigger. So.
okay. Now the fun part. Now the fun begins.
No.
Yeah. So that right there is just a little bit of, I'm just going to say that's sweat. That's just sweat, y'all. That's nothing else besides just sweat. It could be Longhorn pee, but you know what? Can we just call it sweat? Bree also raised a calf recently in Myra. Tell us real fast the story of Myra and how she ended up becoming one of your bottle babies, and add to some of the difficulties you had with her as a bottle
I was
baby.
actually just talking to them about that while you were gone.
Oh.
Because you said, you don't think that she's going to be that much trouble, but I think you're forgetting how clingy and attached a bottle baby is because Myra hasn't been on the bottle for a while now. I mean, a couple of months. And I'm still like having to drive circles really fast on the mule because she tries to get on and ride with me up in my lap. And when they're 500 or 600 pounds, that's a big deal.
That is a huge deal.
Myra she was actually born on G's birthday. So February 2nd, y'all have to do that math on how old she is. I don't know. When she was born, it was Pop's cow Miracle. That orange colored, brown, whatever color you want to call it, cow. And as soon as Myra was born, Miracle started just beating her up really bad. Wanted nothing to do with her, had her in the corner, headbutting her and just down on the ground. So we had to separate her really quick. Pop took her away from her mom. And we didn't know if she was going to make it at first because we couldn't get her to eat for a long time. It was almost a full 24 hours before she took her first of any bottle. And then after that, it was just on.
So I'm guessing that you were not actually there at all of that with Myra. Okay.
No.
Then this next video clip I'm going to show makes perfect sense. Now, forgive me when I show this clip. Now, everyone, we have a really nice audience right now.
Wait, I don't know what it is, and I think that I should be brought in on these things before I'm on a live.
That would be no fun if I let you know
now
what
I'm
I was
going to
doing.
be embarrassed. Do you know how nervous
look
I
at
get?
My face. Look at me blushing for you.
Do you know how nervous I get before I come on a live, and now you're going to embarrass me?
For everyone who's saying, please block Nadia Payne. I've already blocked her. She's not going to show up on this page again. So everyone, we're going to keep it friendly. We're going to have a great video today, a great live with Brienne. Let's not start doing anything mean. So that particular lady has already been blocked. Y'all can stop commenting because she's gone, as will anyone else who wants to come on and start being mean. So listen, Brienne has raised 2 babies. Brienne has delivered and raised 2 babies. Don't cover yourself up. Brienne, you would think, has had to pick up baby poop, baby throw up, baby blood. I'm guessing you do what every mom does, and you found yourself tolerant to a whole lot of things that a lot of people would be grossed out about, but you do it because you're a mother. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. I think every mom and grandmom and aunt and anyone who's taking care of kids can attest to that.
I feel like I know what you're about to show now.
Well, hold on. Not only will I show them, but I actually do a little bit of slow-mo. I also played around with my filter on my phone to extract some of the audio. Guys,
you know what? I took a shower this morning and I did my makeup for this reason, okay? Because everyone saw me do a really nasty thing. And that's just farm life. So I had to show this part of myself that can do my makeup and brush my hair. So go ahead.
All right. Let me preface first by doing what you and I both did to make sure we made Facebook and YouTube happy. And we had to give the warnings that it's graphic in content. It's a mature audiences. This is not for your children to be watching unless you choose to show them. But we are an adult channel. Our channels are set up for 18 and older. So if you have an issue with what I'm about to show you, just realize that you should go rent a Disney movie and keep it Walt Disney, where you don't see the real, which includes good, bad, and ugly. And this particular day was hectic, and there was a lot of ugly, but we made a beautiful thing out of something so ugly. Now, in saying so, if you're squeamish, if you are queasy, if you don't really feel well in your tummy today, you might not want to watch either. You may be completely okay with adult material, farm life, but the sounds you're going to hear out of that pretty girl's mouth right there, that one right there fixing her hair, yes, is... Can we just get straight?
I embarrass myself for a living these days. I don't even care.
Yes, you are a champ, Bree. Just know you're a champ. But I could not believe that me and the fella who was there that day both held our composure, and you were the one. Let me just play the video. People are saying, "Shut up, play the video." Here comes the video. Give me a second.
Was it
good
that
girl,
bad?
Brienne? This is amazing. All right, I got the back end. Okay, easy. Okay, perfect. Okay. So I'm gonna back up a little bit, guys.
Why did you make it so loud?
No,
no, that was you. You did that.
I swear on the Holy Bible, Bree, that I did not do anything. This is
I was just being dramatic. I did not do it. That you did the volume up on that.
I didn't raise the volume up. So the first time is in actual speed. The second time I slowed it down 50%. And then the third time that you'll see, I slowed it down 75%. So every time you slow it down, obviously you can slow down the action, but also you slow down the sound. So that kind of brings out the sounds more. Let's watch the whole thing before we talk about it. Are we ready? 3 clips, the exact same thing in 3 different speeds. Okay, here we go. Okay, good girl. Brienne, this is amazing. All right, I got the back end. Okay, easy. Okay, perfect. Okay, easy. Okay, perfect. Okay, easy, easy. Okay, okay. Perfect.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, Bree. I'll take off that particular image. A lot of folks, the calf is great, y'all. The calf is great. We'll talk more about the why we decided to pull and all of that in a few minutes. But I don't know how long I have with Brienne. Her kids can come in that room at any moment and just barge in
I
and
took
take
them
over
to
the life.
G's.
Oh, they're at G's. They're good. Okay.
Yes, but listen, you have to let me tell you why I gagged. You have to let me tell you what made me gag. Because it wasn't the whole thing, okay? I can handle it. Seeing it is fine, doing it is fine, but let me tell you what made me gag. Blood doesn't bother me. Poop doesn't bother me. There's one thing, and it's like mucus bothers me. I hate it. And the afterbirth, that the cow's covered in is like really mucusy and slippery and nasty, and I don't like that. I can do it all, but I don't like the mucus stuff.
Y'all want to watch it again? Who wants to watch it one more time? I'm looking in the comments. Who wants to watch it one more time before we move on and talk more about it? If you say no, then I'll move on. But I'm wondering how many people want to see it one more time. Okay, here we go. There's a lot of no's.
There's a lot of yeses.
There's a lot of yeses too. Okay, I believe we're seeing more yeses than no's. So we're gonna stick it up there one last time.
Let's watch it again.
One last time. Here we go. Okay, good girl. Brienne, this is amazing. All right, I got the back in. Okay, easy. Okay, perfect. Okay, easy. Okay, perfect. Okay, easy. Okay.
Why am I laughing harder every time I watch it?
I don't know.
I'm gonna need you to send that to me in a text message.
I am so sorry. Wow. Okay. Bree, I'm sitting there the whole time praising you. I'm saying, great job, Brienne. You're doing it. You got this. Now, remember, I'm working with one hand because I had the camera trying to make the video. That probably should have been yours. You're right. It should have been your video that I completely stole from you. But I did give you tons of credit.
Yeah.
In both of my versions. I made a Facebook version, which was slower with narration, shorter, with narration. I gave a long YouTube version, which had just all of everything that happened that day. But I made sure that I gave you credit where credit is due. So
I'm just teasing. I was just teasing, but I am very happy to have a cow named after me, even though it's a cow. That's okay. Fine.
So we talked a little bit about how early it was in the morning before you even. So that day was busy for you. You had a busy day. Yeah. You came to Longhorn Lester's that morning to visit with your goats. And before you left, you sent me a message that said that you think that Gracie's acting weird.
Yeah. So I had stopped and watched her for a while, actually, before I even went to Longhorn Lester's.
Now, this is what time in the morning about was this that you were leaving? Because I'm just still trying to get a time exactly. We have not talked about this, you and I, at all.
It was close to 9 a.m. 9 or 9:30.
So let me just do a little bit of math. I do my fingers in math, okay? So I'm thinking, let's just say it was 9 that she started acting and starting to go through the labor. So 9, to 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, and it was right at 4:30 when we actually pulled her out. So you're looking at 7 hours right there. I believe that most folks, if you don't already know this, a lot of you women have experienced long labors and the things that you go through in labor. But friends, we were dealing with extreme heat that particular day. I believe it was 107 when I left Longhorn Lester's to head over. And it was probably hotter when I actually got there. The heat index was something. And to know that Gracie had stood out in that sun around that area. Now, in all of your videos, she was never going to the woods. She never
Yeah.
wanted to be alone. She wanted to be around the barn. And
Mhm.
so I loved seeing that part of your video because I was not there for all of that. And so she started her labor early. And I don't know exactly how long an animal can be in labor. I don't know, guys, how long. But what I do know is what scared me the most is texting back and forth with you when you were saying that, well, water had broke, obviously, but feet all the way up to her little mouth was getting there. And then when she would, the contractions, she would pull all the way back inside.
Yeah.
And then at some point when her little mouth would come out, now her tongue was hanging out.
Mhm.
And her tongue, I didn't really want to be so graphic to focus on it, but her tongue was hanging out of her mouth that far.
Yeah.
And then, guys, to this day, I'm still a little bit unsure. I'll just say that I'm a little bit unsure of when a mammal actually takes its first breath. When does it actually take its first breath? And in my mind, I'm thinking, wait a minute, that cow's out and in, out and in, out and in. Mom is in extreme pain, obviously, but you can jump in anytime you want to and help me out here, Bree, because I don't.
And oh gosh, you talk so highly about like my vet tech background, right? So now I'm going to be scared to say something wrong because I don't, know everything top to bottom about birthing animals, but enough to where I was able to be helpful, right? And from the way I was kind of seeing it, because they have the water sac that comes out first. And I actually have in my video where that happened to Gracie, and you can see in the video where it ruptures.
Yes.
But then there's the other one that the calf is actually wrapped in, right? And when they start to come out, that breaks. And from my understanding, that's when the cow would start to take its first breaths after it's broken out of that sac, right? So and that had already happened several hours earlier before we ever pulled her out.
So you and I both agreed that after 7 hours of that, and the fact that you said that her contractions were so strong that she was coming so far out and then pulling all the way back in.
Yeah.
And I just thought that can't be good. And then I know that sometimes you can have umbilical cords wrapped around something, and I wasn't sure what was causing the tongue to. It looked like she was, choking or asphyxiation or whatever. And so we were on the phone, and people that were in the know kept saying, "Pull her! You got to pull her! You got to pull her!" Not only for the baby calf, but also for mama. And so, do you remember what I told you before you grabbed on to take something off?
My rings.
Yeah, I did not want Brienne to go up inside that cow with rings on, because that's the last thing that we would need is for you to lose your wedding ring.
I saw someone comment earlier and ask me if I lost a fingernail inside Gracie.
Oh no.
I got them all. They're all Where's my camera? Where's it at? They're all here, okay? No lost nails inside the cow.
A lot of folks will notice everything, so that's awesome. No, but you were just instrumental in all of that. And then once we got going, we were blessed that Uriel, guys, if you've forgotten, Uriel is Mr. Leo's helper. Mr. Leo is the land clearer. And they've been clearing the property. Well, they cleared both of our properties behind I'm a Survivor and behind Longhorn Lester's. And so there's still a little bit of cleanup work going on. And so we're so blessed that Uriel was around on that particular day, because he too, I mean, he just jumped in there. The kid doesn't speak hardly any English at all. And he just jumps in there, and he knew what had to be done. And he started helping out, never questioned, and he never gagged. He never gagged. Now, he's also a daddy who has a newborn, so maybe he's seen some things like you have and like I have. But no, Bree, you're the only one who had the horrible gag reflex. Y'all want to watch it again? Does anyone want to watch the gag? I'm kidding.
Well, I'm going to watch it again on my phone about 20 times. So
I will send it to you, so you don't have to do the long version. You can just have the little short. You can play it over and over and just make it your feature. That could be your feature, Bree.
I knew whenever I did that, I was like, dang it, he got that.
Now, no one noticed what I did to you as kind of a mean joke. Even in the heat of the moment, in the heat of battle, I did something kind of mean to you. Do you remember what I did to you?
That's what I thought you were going to show. Throwing the poop on me.
I'm not going to show that part, but anyone that watched it knows that obviously when mom's push, y'all, she's pushing with everything she got. She's trying. Poor baby was trying so hard. And yes, a little bit of poop come out. And I just simply I saw Brienne's hand to one side. So I just kind of flipped it over right onto Brienne's hand.
Hey, I don't know if you know this, but
You didn't gag about that. You just got mad at me.
I don't know if you know this, but I'm really good at payback and you can get it too.
Oh no, Brie, we don't do all that.
I'm just
stuff.
saying. I'm just saying.
I'm not your brother Jake, who y'all thrive off of getting each other all the time. I don't need my truck wrapped in anything.
I thrive off of getting anybody, okay?
Oh no, but I did. I flipped some poop over on her, and I thought it was just kind of funny. It was a funny moment in the heat of the moment, just trying to lighten the mood. Bree never gagged about that. She just shook it off and got mad at me. And then I remember I says, Bree, it's going to get worse or it gets better, because there was even more poop coming out.
Right at that second, it all just.
And I did. If you notice, I tried to flip it and I missed. I missed your entire arm. So you were clever by that point. So we had an experience together, Bree. That was fun. We've been through a lot, you and I. Yeah. And that may be one of the times that I will never forget, because you'd watch that cow with doing all that for hours. You kept messaging me back and forth, kind of. And I didn't know what to expect when I got there. And then I like that we worked together and we got a calf out of a bad situation, and she seems to be doing great. And then mom's doing fine. I will say before I let Brienne go that we're not out of the woods yet. You already know this probably from Myra, that there's a lot of things that happen in the birthing process and that need to happen. And so whenever you pull a calf, you don't give all of that natural stuff that happens. There was some bonding with mom that can't happen, obviously, when you have other people jump in and have to intervene. You also have a lot of fluid still left in the lungs that can also be very dangerous. The vet came out yesterday and she did a thorough examination from what she could do here on the premises. And her only concern was the fact that the calf sounds, her words were very chunky. You could still hear a lot of fluid in the lungs. And she said, don't be surprised if the calf is not on her own coughing, trying to, get all that up. Normally mom would just do such intense licking, just trying to lick everything, not off of her only, but also out of her. And so that is the one thing that we are worried the most about, is the fact of how much liquid she still has in her lungs, because that could, I guess, lead to pneumonia or other things. Yeah. So I did let everyone know that even though all seems to be fine, that we're not out of the woods yet, as they say. We are still working on her, and we're keeping a very close eye on her, and we'll do all that we can to keep her alive. But she is eating good, which is great. And anyway, we're just so darn blessed to have you right there, Bree. Did you happen to ever watch my long video, the one where I talked about your beady little eyes always watching and creeping and looking at everything?
Yeah, and then I saw you commented on my other video, and then I just decided to ignore you.
Which is what I'm used to. You're used to being picked on. I'm used to being ignored.
Oh, whatever.
But I will say that Life on Morrow Hill, which is Brienne's channel, it really was built up to be kind of a perspective from center ring. You have a bird's eye view on everything that goes on around there. And you've also been able to include your children and your passions and your interest with all of them other beady-eyed little birds that you got over there. You got your
I'm gonna bring some to your house and put them in a stall. Down to the sanctuary, in a stall they go.
You have a horse that's struggling right now with age and with conditions, and so you also have your hands full, but you took time to help us out that particular day. A lot of folks are saying, where was Ellie and Megan? They were gone that particular morning. Brienne was the only one around. Uriel came up to help when he saw there was an issue. And then I got there as fast as I could. I was not home either. I was off getting hay. And which I came straight from the hayfield. But it took me a while to get there, and I apologize for that. But you did, Bree. You handled it like a champ. If anyone, and since we're going live on both Facebook and YouTube, if anyone would be interested, Brienne does have her very own channel. Her channel reminds me of kind of a Utah mom's channel. You know what I mean by that?
Utah.
I don't know why it's Utah moms. That's what they call them. They call them Utah moms. I guess it's maybe there's a lot of moms in Utah who have created video channels like ours, except their focus is pretty much on home life. Now, of course, you get out and about with animals, you get out and about and do other stuff, but it's like the video of you with Carter skateboarding or trying to skateboard, and you doing stuff with the kids.
Don't get me in trouble. I got in trouble for that.
No, you did not.
I did. She's way too little to skateboard. Didn't you know that?
Well, like I told Ellie, I says, Ellie, get up in there and kiss that calf. Jolene wanted some loving. I says, get up in there and kiss her. He goes, I ain't going to kiss her. I'm like, well, I would, but she may horn me in my temple.
Yeah. He said, you want me to do that then?
And I'm like, you're young. You'll heal. I won't. So your kids will heal, Bree, whereas I might not. You probably would still heal.
Hey, I did a lot worse things as a child than falling off of a skateboard. So, as a matter of fact, there was one time that Dustin and Jacob pushed me off the top of Pop's school bus.
Yeah.
So I think Carter will be fine if she falls off skateboard.
And you survived.
I lived.
Well, we love our kids, we love our animals, and we will do all that we can do to keep them safe. But Brienne, I do owe you a huge debt of gratitude, and for all of the beautiful things that will come from Danny in there, and all of that. We are indebted to you for that. So thank you so much for all that you did and for bringing your expertise to the table, for putting up with the heat that day and staying out there despite your phone kept getting overheated. You stayed and helped and gagged like a champ. All right. So
it's one of those things that, it sucks that you had to do it, but it's kind of a cool thing to get to do and experience. But I just hope everyone remembers how hot it is out there and how exhausted she was getting and how long she'd been doing it. So
yeah. Someone asked, I couldn't catch it in time to stick it on here, but they want to know, why did you let my goats out before you left Longhorn Lester's? Why let my goats out?
I refuse to take responsibility for that. I don't care what anyone says. Wasn't me.
Brienne did not let the goats out. I was teasing her. That little golden girl, both the little golden girls are so small, they can climb out in multiple places. They normally don't because they have the the other goats stay in, so they normally want to stay with the herd. But sometimes the golden girls will do stuff that will surprise you. And on that day, they climbed out.
Bree had such a good time with me that they wanted to follow my car as I left.
I saw your trip to the river. That looked like a lot of fun. Very hot. You took them down.
I'm telling you, that was a long day. Going to Longhorn Lester's and doing the walk to the river and back, and then coming out here with the Gracie. And
hey, but did you feel like you had buns of steel after you made that walk back up?
I felt like I was going to die. That's the only thing I could think about. Buns of nothing. I was done that day.
When we first bought the property, I told myself, I'm going to walk this hill twice a day, morning and evening, and I'm going to have the best legs, the best behind. I'm just going to have this like massive lower body. And that lasted about 2 trips up and down. And now I drive my side-by-side or the Argo. And I'm like, forget the buns of steel.
Yeah, halfway through my trip to Longhorn Lester's, I found Jamie's bike, or your bike, the electric bike. I said, I should have been riding this the whole time.
Yeah, you could have. Yeah. Gracie's doing great, everybody. She's cleaning up on her own. She's not having any kind of internal bleeding or anything. It was a very loud and noisy night at the sanctuary. Gracie looking for her baby, obviously. But I will just say this, and then we'll move on. Both Ruby and Danny will not spend their forever home here at Longhorn Leicesters. Once they're off the bottle, they will be going back to join their mothers at the sanctuary, and they'll live in the larger back pastures. Waylon will end up being he'll be their herd protector, but they'll be with their mom. So that reunion will happen. How long did you have to feed Myra until we can wean her off?
You can wean them as like between 4 and 6 months. I think Myra was right at 5 months.
Okay.
But I started feeding her just on a regular bucket long before that. So
milk in a bucket,
mm-hmm.
So they can drink like donkeys, just right out of a bucket.
Yeah, they can. I have one too. If you want it, that actually has a nipple that comes out the side, so you can just hang it on the fence.
Oh, I've seen that video. I've seen that. Yeah, you're right. That would be a lot easier having to sit there and hold it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys, I think that we've held Bree long enough. I know her kids are probably screaming and hollering at my Gigi's house looking for her, and they want their mama back. Bree's probably loving the break. She's probably loving this break.
Yeah, I might.
You may get your nails done now and
before I go pick them up.
take a little nap and just
yeah. All right. Oh, where's my button? Okay, here it is.
I could boot you. I can boot you, and which is always fun.
I would feel better just to leave.
You want to voluntarily leave?
I would voluntarily go.
Let me ask you one question before you leave.
Okay.
In past relationships, was it easier for guys to boot you, or did you have the power just to walk away?
Oh, no. I was the one that did the leaving.
Oh, you always did the leaving. So you voluntarily left when you realized it wasn't going to work. Would you believe that I have
How many relationships do you think I've had in my life? Because there's only been like 2. I don't have a lot of information to go on.
Well, I know 2 serious relationships. One you married and then the other one that you didn't. But I assumed you had other boyfriends along the way. No, not serious boyfriends?
Not really.
Well, would you believe that your Uncle Lester here, it's probably a story you don't even know about. I have never had the power to remove myself. I've always had to be booted from any relationship. Is that sad?
No.
I don't know why I'm even bringing that up. That's kind of horrible that I'm like I'm some kind of a clinger. I'm a clinger, Brie. I just cling. I just don't leave me, please. Give me another chance. Please don't leave me. No, I have never had the power.
Poor Jamie. Poor Jamie.
Poor every woman in my life. I just cling. I hold on to the end. But Bree, we love you and we certainly thank you. And remember, Life on Morrow Hill. She has both Facebook and YouTube. I believe that you work Facebook more, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Is there a reason? Is there a reason that you work Facebook more? Is it because the phone up and down format, shorter videos?
It doesn't really matter the format to me. It's all the same. It's just that I can make shorter videos. And if I'm able to make shorter videos, it's easier to edit. And with my schedule with the kids, I'm able to do it more in real time if I keep them smaller.
I got you. That makes perfect sense. All right. We love you, Bree, and I will see you later this afternoon.
I will see y'all. Bye.
Bye. I love her. She really is good, and she's helped us so much. And now that she's gone, let's just watch her video, her gag video one last time. Don't leave me. Let's just watch this one last time and laugh. Okay, good girl. Brienne, this is amazing. All right, I got the back in. Okay, easy. Okay, perfect. Okay, easy. Okay, perfect. Okay, easy. Okay. I'm the worst uncle ever, y'all. I'm the worst uncle ever. A lot of people are asking questions that we've already addressed earlier in the live. If I have to go back all the way and start the whole live over, then we're going to repeat to everyone who's watching now. So what you have to do is when you jump onto a live and you're late, you could watch from that point on if you choose to, but a lot of your questions have already been answered, sometimes more than once. So what you would do is if you join a live that's already playing, you could watch if you choose to, or you just wait till it's over and then you go watch the replay and you catch it all as it's happening. So a lot of folks says it's making them gag too. But I'm so sorry. We are blessed, y'all. We're blessed that we have Jamie here, who has been instrumental in helping Starla, Ruby, and our newest baby, Danny, adapt to the bottle. With, like I said, with Starla, we had concerns about her little foot. And I don't know if that video has come out yet, but we did go live on Facebook yesterday, and talked with the vet. The vet explained that Starla's foot is looking better and there's no infection. And so we're going to hold off on the amputation for a bit. I think Jamie's going to make an entire vet video of all that the vet did while she was here. And that will include all of that in there. In saying so, I hate to be the one to give out too much information and I don't want it to take away from Jamie's content. And that's always been a big thing of mine, is not trying to steal content from other people. So if you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them. Questions that have not already been addressed multiple times in the video. Sometimes if you will type your questions in all caps, I can see them easier. I'm not wearing glasses today. I don't think I need them. And I'm not really seeing too many questions pop up. Stella is doing wonderful. Stella is our dog who is taking care of everybody. She's like a mother. And then I made a video about that just now that I'll be posting pretty soon. More than likely, let me answer a couple of questions real fast. You know what they call this? They call this rapid fire. Rapid fire is something really neat that a lot of talk shows do, where they ask a question and answer it real fast. And there's no beating around the bush. Here's the question. Now simply answer it. And then you just go. And so I will say here's a couple of rapid fire questions and answers that I've seen multiple times. My biggest annoyance with social media is the fact that Facebook will not stop the hackers, the spammers, the imposter fake profiles, and they are picking and targeting audiences like ours. Folks who would give you the shirt off of their back. I do believe that. That's an expression that we use down south, that so-and-so would give you the shirt off their back, which means they're just a very kind and giving and generous person. And so these scammers, spammers, hackers, imposters, cowards, whatever you want to call them, they know what they're doing, and they find certain pages to target. They have created fake profiles that look just like us. They have offered to video chat live with you and your partner for only $85. And they're saying that they're me or Jamie or my mom, and it's not true. They've gone on there as my mom, pretending to be my mom, asking you for money because her and Papa are struggling. And you are such good people, and you don't realize that you're on a wrong page. You're on a fake page. There are people right now that wonder, how come Longhorn Lester never posts any videos? Because you're on a fake Longhorn Lester page. And so you have to be a little bit more vigilant, because, like I said, my annoyance is that Facebook and even YouTube, they don't always watch your back. So if you want to know my biggest annoyance, it's that right over there. That's my annoyance with social media in general. And I don't know if the same thing happens on Twitter or any of the other social media platforms. I have no idea, but man, we have seen a ton. And it's not just my page, it's every page. Poor Ann Dale, who's been a friend of mine for a year now, and her little homestead channel, people are getting on there now trying to pretend that there's somebody else, asking for her people to follow them. And it's just ridiculous, y'all. It's just so sad that smaller channels and even larger channels have to deal with all of that, because that means that many of you are scared to comment. You're scared to put a comment by fear of how many hackers are going to come at you because of that. My greatest takeaway from social media is the fact that it's so therapeutic in the fact that you have someone to talk to. And so, I don't know how you are with your spouse and your family, but to be completely honest, there's not a whole lot of, we don't constantly communicate around here. Jamie and I don't just sit and talk for hours and hours. And a lot of times you can feel it, this can be a very lonely lifestyle. It is. Social media, being a video creator, is a very lonely lifestyle because you say, Lester, how can you be lonely? You got, so many people watching your videos and your lives and but there's not real conversation. There's not someone to talk back and forth with. And so sometimes it can be very lonely, even though you would never realize that. So my biggest takeaway is the fact that it's a very lonely existence. I know that this is something that people dream of. This is something that they would love to do and be a part of. But I will say that I probably have not been lonelier in my lifetime. When I would go out and work every day, there's social interactions happening all around the school. You have your teacher friends, you have relationships with your students, you have relationships with people that you meet, from the bus drivers to the cafeteria workers, the custodians. And so you have a lot of relationships, and there's a lot of activity as far as people to talk to and things to keep up with. And over here, I sometimes feel like this, the all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy type thing. You wake up, you make your videos, you edit your videos, you upload your videos, and then you repeat, and then you repeat, and then you repeat. And so, that's kind of the downside to it all. I'm still waiting for you guys to ask me questions. I'm not real sure exactly. I don't really see too many questions popping up. The comments can be quite bothersome. I think that the biggest injustice, as far as comments go, is how you have not given my son, LE or Megan, a chance. I'm just going to put this out there to the general public, even though I've addressed this with the supporters of the page multiple times. LE and Megan are both 23 years old. And at the age of 23, they have not developed the maturity of a man who's 50 or whatever age you are. So it's real easy for us who are older and more experienced in life to get on there and criticize and be critical of how someone is running or managing or mismanaging certain things about their life. But I do believe that every one of us have children who we have waited patiently for and tried to assist them as much as we could until they can finally figure everything out. And so I always say, and I don't mean this to scare you off, but if you had known me at the age of 23, you probably wouldn't like me very much. You would not like me very much. I can promise you that. Because just like many of you at the age of 23, I was probably doing things I was living in sin. I was living in some serious sin, y'all. Going out way more than I should, spending more money on frivolous things, material things, money I didn't always have, writing one check to cover another check to cover a next check, living paycheck to paycheck, just trying to, it was stupid. The amount of alcohol that I would consume, the amount of girls that I would consume, the amount of anything and everything that went against what my mama and my pastor taught me. I was doing all of those things, and there was no way at the age of 23 that I could have ever been left in charge of a farm that has 3 barns, a tractor, a side-by-side, 130 plus animals, living species of birds and whatnot, and manage it properly. There's going to be a lot of mistakes that will be made, yet for some reason you expect LE to step in and take over and be just like his dad. And you forget that the experiences that built me are not the same ones that built or building LE. And so LE will grow into an amazing farmer, and he will learn to grow into an amazing, all the things that you want to see. But if you don't give him those opportunities to learn, then he's not going to learn. Some lady says that by the age of 23, she already had 4 kids. So, lady, I'm not trying to be mean, but it looks like you may have made more mistakes than I did. If you are 23 with 4 kids, and I'm not trying to be mean to you, but I'm just trying to say, don't act like you're holier than thou, because if you're 23 with 4 kids, then you are dumber than me. I'm serious. If you were 24 or 23 with 4 kids, I'm doing the math. That means that you were a lot dumber than I am, or than what I was. So I believe that you, ma'am, might also have made some mistakes that you're not proud of. Seriously now. When I was 23, I had 4 children I raised, Lester. Okay, that's great. But that was pretty dumb, if you ask me, to be 23 with 4 children. Because I was 23 and lived a horrible lifestyle, and I made sure that I had 0 children because I wasn't ready for all that. I didn't have my first son until I was, mid-20s. So and then I spaced them out. I spaced my kids out. So don't be mean, y'all. Don't be mean and act like you're holier than thou, because you may have been more mature. And I'm certain that at the age of 23, maybe your 4 kids did mature you a lot faster because you had to mature to take care of your 4 children. But you weren't very mature when all them kids were being made. I can tell you that much right over there. Hey, I can bite back. I can bite back with a smile on my face. I don't have to growl and snarl. Lester, rapid answers, please. What do you mean rapid answers? No one is asking me anything. No one's asking me anything. Hold on. Ellie's on. Oh. I think Megan and Ellie have changed since they moved and have improved. Miss Rebecca, I do think that you're right. I know for a fact that you're right. I know 100% Ellie is a whole lot better man now than he was 2 months ago, since they've had the role of, the managers of I'm a Survivor. Is Jolene pregnant? No. Put your glasses on. Why? Why should I? I had 3 kids by the time, oh no. Guys, don't listen to me. I don't mean this in a mean way, but I don't think by saying how many kids you had at a young age makes you a responsible person. At 23, I had a 2-year-old son whom I raised all by myself his entire life. Okay, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I worked 2 jobs and went to school while raising him when he was a little tiny baby. I did damn good. My son is amazing. Miss Michelle, here's what I think. I think that when you had that son at the age of 23, means you had that son at the age of 21, I think that you grew up a lot. And I will say that when I had my son at the age of 25, 26, I grew up a lot too. That's probably about the time that you have that proverbial slap saying, hey, wake it up. You ain't no kid no more. You ain't no spring chicken. You're a daddy now. Get out there and be a dad and raise your son and set an example for your son. The same way, Miss Michelle, you have gone out there and set an example for your son, who, as you say, turned out to be amazing. So thank you. Is text the daddy to both Danny and Ruby? Yes, that was an oversight on my part. We dropped off Gracie at band camp, and we learned within a few months that it did not take. And so that happens sometimes. Every time she would come into heat, I thought I was very vigilant in moving her out of the pastures with Tex. You can always tell, or you can normally always tell when it's about to happen. And I thought that I was on top of that. And obviously, at some point, I wasn't. So Yes, that was a mistake on my part. Now, it does not take away anything from the fact that Danny and Ruby are beautiful young ladies who will live a great and forever life with our Longhorns. They will remain a part of our herd. I'm blessed that I will never have to sell or move along Danny or Ruby, but they will have to always make sure they're separated from Tex and any of that bloodline. So, and the way we have it set up now, that can never happen again. You already know that we're keeping Tex and Santana here at the Longhorn Lester property, where we're just still praying for some kind of grass and just a relief from this heat. But Waylon's going to end up coming out ahead in all of this. You do know that. Now, let me go ahead and address one last thing. It's not a question. If you could turn one animal to a human, which would it be and why? The world would never want to see Ringo as a human. Okay, I'm just going to say that. The world would never want to see Ringo as a human. So it would not be Ringo. He would be a badass. Okay, he would be a badass. He would be the kind of guy who'd go to the country western club. He'd wear his hat down low, like over his eyes. He'd do something. He would listen, he would fight, he would curse, and he would take home any girl he wanted from that club on any given night. Okay. So we don't want to see any Ringos running around. If I could take one animal and turn him to a human, he or she to a human, oh my gosh, I think the world would love to know Sissy as a human, kind and sweet and gentle. I think the world would have loved Maggie as a human. Kelly, the whole point of this was rapid response, and my God, you've put a tough one onto me because I don't think I could ever get this right because there's so darn many who would be amazing humans. They already, as animals, I'm just going to say this and you're going to be mad, but as animals, they already display more character traits, positive character traits than most humans that we know. And they're animals and they have more human qualities, ones that we could all learn to live by. So my gosh, what happened to the dance off, Sherry? I'm guessing you mean the dance off between me and Miss Judy. I love Miss Judy and I've enjoyed her channel, but I says, Judy, I'm not going to be the only one dancing. If we're going to have a dance off, you have to actually dance. You can't challenge me to a dance and then you go over there and look all cute with different costumes. That's not dancing. So I said, if you want to have a dance off, I'll put my knees out there. I'll put my knees on the line and I'll dance with you, but you're going to have to dance back. And so the first round was me dancing and just tearing up my poor legs, and Miss Judy looking cute as could be, but not dancing. So, and then she challenged me to another dance. And I'm like, wait, I ain't gonna keep dancing if you're not gonna dance back. Why can't Danny go back with mom now that she's taking milk? So there's a couple of things. It's already been 3 days. We already got her going on the colostrum and the bottle. And at this point, taking her back is going to be putting her back into the heat. And my friends, Dr. Cochran said something yesterday that I think was probably the most powerful thing that she said, in that there are people swinging into the clinic, calling for emergency calls. The heat is absolutely unbearable. And so not only are we offering Danny a place to live these very difficult weeks and months of her beginning of life in a climate controlled condition, we're taking her bottles to her. She is going to be healthier and stronger and not have to succumb to all of the heat conditions. Friends, I don't mean to scare you, Susan, or anybody else who might be curious about this, but animals are dying left and right. If you've watched many farm channels, you can see the conditions that the heat is taking on animals. My good friend Daniel and DJ over at Arms Family, they may not talk about it, but they lost an alpaca this week, and I didn't watch the entire video. I just know that Daniel sent a text, said that they lost one. And in my mind, I knew right then it's from the heat. When they get older or they're more vulnerable, the same way you and I are as humans, we're more vulnerable to the elements when we're at different stages of our life or our medical situation. And so Danny struggled. It was never our intention to come home and bottle raise a bunch of longhorn calves. It was a weird twist of fate that Ruby got tossed around like a pinata or a rag doll and needed immediate assistance. And it's not our fault that poor Gracie had labor difficulties and could not pass along, a healthy calf in Danny. So she had to be pulled. A lot of things went into play that day, and we offered the teat. If you didn't watch the video, for 4 hours, we offered her teat from mom, and she just could not find a way to latch on. And if you watch the video, you will see that she's only able to drink from a nipple that's a goat-sized, not a cow-sized nipple. So that tells me that there's something going on with all of that tongue, whatever, that makes it where she's not able to latch on. So mom has already stopped screaming and hollering. Mom's bag has begun to dry. And so at this point, Danny will remain with us. So I'm still looking for questions. I'm looking for all caps. Makes it easier for me. Why aren't you all using the misting fans? We saw them a lot last year and we don't see them at all this year. So the misting fans, well, number one, they are only good for some animals. And I don't know what videos you are watching or which ones you're not watching, but there are misting fans at both properties. We've tried to get our pigs to start utilizing the pond at I'm a Survivor, which would keep our trough water cleaner. And so there's no need to have misting fans for the pigs because they're in the front pasture around the ponds where they should be, where they always should have been. The alpacas don't care for misting fans. They want to put their feet in the water. So we have a special water trough designed for the alpacas to put their feet in. Goats don't like water, friends. If you watch one particular channel of a man who's too cheap to build his goats their own shelter, and you believe his outright lies when he says goats like water, goats have no problem with water, that's a lie. That's a lie. Goats hate water, and so goats will not go into a misting fan. And so ultimately, I don't really know exactly what other animals you'd like to see us have them on. We have ours over here for our dogs, and those are on every video. Hey, I'm just going to backtrack a little bit. Remember earlier when I'm going to type it in myself. You remember a little bit earlier when someone asked me, what is my biggest annoyance with social media? I'm going to change that answer. What I said was the most thing I despise the most is the amount of scammers and hackers and horrible people who Facebook, YouTube will not help us get rid of. But I will say this, another big annoyance is here it goes. Here it goes. Here it goes. I'm almost scared to tell you this over here. I will say it and then I'll get off the live. Listen, there are two channels, Facebook and YouTube. I'm a Survivor Sanctuary on Facebook. Longhorn Lester's on YouTube. So there's channels out there. Every animal is being focused on, but an annoyance of mine is that many of you are so hard-headed. I'm just going to say hard-headed because that's not a mean word. That's not a put down, but you're so set in your ways that you will not take time to visit other channels, or maybe you're too busy, or maybe you just refuse to follow for whatever the reason. But then you begin to send me emails and ask me questions that were clearly talked about on the other channel. And so what I've said to folks when this happens is I'm not being mean, but I'm saying you can't email me and say, Lester, I watch this channel and this channel and this channel and this channel and this channel. So how do you expect me to watch Longhorn Lester's, for example? And so all I've told you is pick and choose your happy place and stay there. You cannot spread yourself so thin that you end up getting lost on any particular story. And so if you want to see stories of the Longhorns, of the big birds, or of the rescues that we have here at Longhorn Lester's, then you're going to have to watch the Longhorn Lester channel. You can't be so stuck in your ways where you're only going to watch I'm a Survivor because Longhorn Lester's is not real, because it is. And real things happen here. I think I had my biggest, not heartbreak, but letdown of the week when I posted the video about Tex and his family making their way down to the river. Y'all, that was something that I worried about, and I fretted over that for the longest time. It scared me to know what might could happen if I let them Longhorns out, hoping to give them a place to forage. And I put that video on Longhorn Lester's because it is in fact a video from Longhorn Lester's. And you would not believe the number of emails I got from people who only watch I'm a Survivor, who were asking how it went, how did it go, and so my reply at first was simple. Those videos are on the Longhorn Lester channel. And so some folks let it go at that. But some folks replied with, I don't watch Longhorn Lester's. I only watch I'm a Survivor. What do you want me to do? I'm not going to give you the cliff notes because you have your own reasons for not watching Lester's other channel. And I'm not trying to push it down your throat. I'm not trying to shove it down your throat. But it was a video made at Longhorn Lester. So I am annoyed by that. I try to answer emails and get back. I love to communicate with you. I already said a little while ago that one of the things I missed the most is not having conversations. So I love to conversate with people, and I can do that through email, through the WhatsApp thing on my phone. People even call me sometimes, and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I'll talk to you. And so, but when you email me about stuff like that, because if is there a better word than hard-headed? Is there a better word than hard-headed? I don't know if there is, but I made both channels available on Facebook. So if you're only a Facebook person only, you don't do YouTube, fine. Both channels are on Facebook. Or if you're only a YouTuber, man, I don't mess with that Facebook, man. I'm only YouTube. Both channels are on YouTube. But that's your job to go find those kind of things. It's not my job to reply to every email. Stubborn, I think that's a better word. Stubborn, delusional. I don't know if delusional. I just, it's not fun and easy to talk about when you talk about your annoyances because we're so darn blessed. Life is so good, and we've really found ourselves in a really neat place. But it is a difficult place, and time is the hardest thing to get. So I'm super happy that Facebook finally allowed us back onto StreamYard. I don't know how long that'll last, but every story that we take time to video and edit and upload, I think tells a part of the novel that is, I'm a Survivor Sanctuary, and the extension of Winch's Longhorn Lester's. And so Longhorn Lester's would not exist without I'm a Survivor. I'm a Survivor would be fine without Longhorn Lester's. But there are animals here, many of which are the rescues from I'm a Survivor, who we think have a better life here than they had over there. And so that's why we try to offer the both channels. Lester, your inner voice is screaming. Hold on. Lester's inner voice is screaming, shut your pie hole, Lester. You're doing awesome, so stop explaining yourself. I wish that I could shut my pie hole sometimes. I wish. It's not as easy said than done. Vanessa, I did email Lester once about Crocs. Vanessa, did I reply to your email? I'm just curious if I replied or not. I try to reply to my emails, but without bragging, I will say there's hundreds of emails a day, hundreds. There are also hundreds of messages through Messenger, and there's hundreds, plural, of messages through WhatsApp. There's multiple phone calls that I won't always answer the phone if it doesn't have a name. And then if it's not convenient for me to talk, then I won't. You didn't, but I know you're busy. Vanessa, while I have you, what was your question about Crocs? Ask me now, and I'll be more than happy to answer it. I'm looking through here, and I can recognize your profile picture when it pops up. Thank you. Here we go. Mark says, Lester and I had a great back and forth on the bridge. Mark did lots to advise me and help me along with that project. Mark was critical, and sometimes we need that criticism. We need that, Mark. And so I appreciate you letting me know from your expertise, from what you saw. And we did. I've had back and forth with so many people. Vanessa says, I was just telling you about an updated model. Oh, Vanessa, was that the boots? I'm wondering, were those the Croc boots? Not going to go there, Vanessa. I'm not going to wear Croc boots. Anyway, listen, I believe I've rambled on long enough. I would like to end it real fast by showing you all three of the babies. If you want to walk with me, I'll take my entire computer and we're going to walk and find babies. Do I have you all? Okay, so we'll start here there's Christmas. There's Stella. There's Fiona. There's Millie and Trixie. And there's Big Bertha. Some guard dogs we have, huh? Some guard dogs. All right, now we're going to walk in here. All right, there's that sweet little girl, Danny. Let's walk all the way through. We're just going to walk all the way through, y'all. Bear with me. Danny, we're coming through, love. It's going to get a little bit loud in the shot. We got the fans on. Excuse me, sweetie. Y'all got me again. It's a little bit loud here. Ruby. Hey, sweetie. Hey, sweet girl. There's Ruby. So I believe at this point, all we're missing is one little goat. And I can find her. I don't want to lose my signal. Looking for a little goat. Now she might be on the porch. Hey, sweetie. It's not as hot here inside this shop as it is outside here. So let's find the goat, Starla, and I'll let you guys go. Now, Starla might be inside Jamie's office because I do not see her out here. So give me a second. So if Starla was here, she would for sure be with us. Starla is probably in Jamie's office. Yeah, so she's not here in the shade. All right, we're going to make Jamie really mad here. Jamie's going to be so mad at me. But I'm going to open her door up and we're going to peep in at Starla. Oh, good. She's opened the door herself. Starla in there?
Yeah, if you need her.
We just want to take a peek at her.
Can we not look at my messy office right
We're not looking at Jamie's messy office. We're only going to look at Starla.
You're like
tour day, junk, everything.
Hi, sweetie. We were talking about you. Everyone loves Starla so much. I love her so much.
Oh.
Okay. Thank you, Jamie. All right. So at that point, you've seen all of our little misfits, all of our ragtag operation here. When Dr. Cochran yesterday, Dr. Cochran did a house call. She came to us, which we were so blessed for that. And while she was here, we said, please don't judge. Please don't judge. Just know that it's hot outside and our animals, we feel like it's just too hot for them. And so we actually had her come inside the house to work on our dogs and our calves and our goat. And she did an overall very thorough examination of all of the babies. And like I said, Jamie will have that content coming up. But our biggest concern right now, obviously, is the newborn, is Danny. And she has a lot of liquid on her lungs. So that's kind of scary to be honest. That's very scary for us. So anywho, we appreciate all of you guys. And I did not mean to act like I was annoyed by anything. I appreciate it when you tell and share your stories. Let me read you something real fast. This is the kind of stuff that gives me purpose and drive. I'm going over to my WhatsApp, and there was a lady who I was chit-chatting with a little bit ago. Okay, so her name is Nancy. Ready? I'm just going to read from my phone here, okay? I'm getting it closer before I can read. Hey, Lester, I've been watching your channel for years. Congrats on your new calf. She's gorgeous. Gracie has always been one of my favorites, so I'm absolutely thrilled. I've wanted to write to you for a long time, but this just seems faster. And she's using the WhatsApp message system. I just wanted to tell you how much of an impact you had on my life. I used to be a fentanyl addict. I got addicted after a lot of medical trauma where I lost 95% of my eyesight due to medical malpractice. I used to have violent withdrawals where I would vomit. Sometimes I would throw up even blood. I couldn't get off it, no matter how much I tried. I began to watch I'm a Survivor videos during the darkest parts of my addiction. It shined a light in an otherwise desolate life. It made me laugh. It gave me hope and comfort. So many times I am now over a year clean. I owe so much of that to you for helping me through the worst part of my life. I don't have the words to express my gratitude. You may never read this, Lester, but if you do, God bless you. My life has been restored, so thank you again. So, when I read something like that, and it gives me motivation to push forward and make another video, make someone laugh, make someone smile, make someone get through a dark day. And then the next message is, why don't you post the Longhorn videos to I'm a Survivor because I don't watch Longhorn Lesters? You tell me, friends, who am I going to focus my attention on? Who do you think I'm going to spend my time replying to? The person who inspires me to be better and keep going and keep overcoming, and the person who has helped me by helping them and we help each other? Or the lady or man who's sitting there with their hands on their hips, stomping their foot, raising their fist, mad because I will not succumb to their demands of giving them what they want, when they need it, how they need it, what time they want it. So I will say to Nancy that I dialogued with Nancy. I took time this morning to talk with her, and we talked. And I told her that I thanked her for sharing her story. And I told her how much things like that help me get over some of the dark things that go on in my mind. And it also, I said this before to you all, that it gives me a feeling of validation that what I'm doing with my life is worth something. It helps somebody here and there. And so I don't know why I shared that with you. I just want you to know that there are real problems in this world, and there's real things going on with people. And the fact that you refuse to watch a particular channel because you don't watch that channel, because you don't believe in their politics, or you don't believe in that's on you, friends. That's on you. It is never, never my job to change the things that trigger you. It's your job to avoid the things that trigger you. Because that's the problem in the world today. The whole political correctness movement. Let's not do anything that's going to offend anybody. We will do nothing to offend anyone. And unfortunately, that's not the way that life works, because there are people who go out every day looking to be offended. What can I find that's going to offend me? What can I find that's going to appear to be racist? What can I find that's going to appear to be misogynistic? What can I find that's going to appear to be political? What can I find that's going to appear to be, and you fill in the blank. And there's people who go through their life looking to find ways to hate and to be mad and to feel victimized. And that's just not this channel, y'all. And I'm not trying to say that we don't enjoy bringing you content, but if the content is only going to put you into a funk. Hey, one last thing that I'll talk about, and then I really will let you go. You remember, I didn't even talk about this with Brienne, but it was pretty powerful. I will say that I was a little bit taken back by some of the comments on the video yesterday. I guess we can call this another annoyance, where we were trying to get Gracie to allow us to help the baby nurse, and Uriel, who is Mr. Leo's helper on the tractor, they did all the clearing. Uriel was there helping me, and we were trying to get Gracie to allow us to get as close as possible and help align the baby with the teat. And do you know how many people were screaming at me saying, and this is why you're supposed to handle your cows. Your hands-off policy is not helping you today, is it? And things similar of that nature. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. Gracie stood right there. She turned her behind around to us and allowed 3 people, me, who she knows, a complete stranger in Uriel, and a semi-stranger in Brienne, to put our hands inside of her and help pull that calf. She was never tethered or tied or ran into a chute with a squeezed chute where her neck was pinned down. Never. She stood there. And all these people were looking for a way to fight, because I've made multiple comments that we do not touch our bulls. We do not put hands on our bulls. And they took that little bit of information, which is completely unrelated, to saying, now we'll see, See how wrong you are? If you had been putting your hands on her, you could have got her teeth to her. And it's just finding anything positive, yet trying to turn it into a negative. And it's just sickening. It's sickening. But everyone's saying, block and delete them people, block and delete them people. Guys, how much time would I spend going through, let's just say, a video with 2,000 comments, blocking and deleting? That's not how you want to spend your day. You want to spend your day with your animals. You want to spend your day doing your farm chores. You want to spend your day interacting in positive interactions, like with the one I had with that sweet lady. And that's how I choose to spend my day. I think that it should be you who spend your day finding a happy place where you can go watch their channels and come off feeling fulfilled, feeling better about yourself and your situation. But anyway, I feel like I turned what was a pretty decent live with Brienne and a beautiful baby, and then showing you all the babies around here, into something very negative. And that was not my goal. So there's a lot of hatred in this world, says the name went by too fast. And that is true. There's a lot of hatred in this world. But listen, I don't hate you. I don't despise you. I'll say this right now to the mean people who have been negative on the page, or the ones who demand that I give them the content they want when they want it, need it on whatever channel they want. I don't hate you. I'm not. It's a little bit annoying, but you know what? I love you just the same. And I just hope that at some point we can find a happy median and you kind of understand my perspective and my point of view of how we do it. I look forward to reading more stories. I look forward to finding out more about you all. I love when you share personal stories. Buddy and Brutus are doing great. They're inside dogs, living in North Carolina, inside the house, sleeping in the bed, on the couch. Billy Bob is doing wonderful. He's also an inside dog, sleeping everywhere that lady sits down. He's right in her lap, Miss Kathy. And then Charlie and Echo, I've also got pictures of them. They're living their best life. They're not inside dogs. They were never meant to be inside dogs. They've never been housebroken. They've never been inside dogs, but they have a huge backyard, lots of gardens and flower garden areas. The worst problem is that one of the dogs likes to dig in the garden. And so that has been the emails back and forth with that family, is how one of the dogs likes to dig in her garden. And I says, I'm so sorry. I don't know what to tell you, because Stella, as much as we love her, she likes to dig in ours. So friends, I appreciate you for the time you spent with me. It's already late. I've been way over my time. Texas goodbye. A Texas goodbye. Love it, says DT. Oh, another Southern goodbye. Who are these people? Hold on. I got to tell y'all something. I will say one thing about Southern. I wish my mom was here. I wish my mom was here right now. My mom and Ben just got back they took a trip and they visited some states around the New England area. And my mom came back with one complaint. One complaint, New Englanders, if you're ready to hear this, you might know what it is, you might not. But she loved your weather. She says they never went a day that was over 80 degrees Fahrenheit. She goes, she never experienced any humidity. She said that, I guess there were two complaints. She says she was a little bit surprised that they didn't have more ramps. In a lot of the places they went to visit, there were not ramps. And my mom is more of a ramp person than she is walking stairs. And so she was surprised by that, because there were a lot of older folks there. But her biggest complaint was that she could not find sweet tea. And if you don't know about this, a lot of us Southerners drink sweet tea. And it's not the same as taking tea and putting sugar and trying to mix up your own concoction of sweet tea. No, down here in the South, they sell sweet tea. It's already sweetened. It's sweet tea. And Mom said no matter where she went, she could not find sweet tea. And so whenever she had Kim come get her from the airport, she says, please just bring me a big glass of sweet tea. So for all of you guys in the New England states who don't drink sweet tea, or maybe you have your own version of sweet tea, here are people saying, what's sweet tea? I don't know. McDonald's has sweet tea. I wonder if it's McDonald's up north or just Southern McDonald's. I don't know, but sweet tea is a Southern thing. And my mom couldn't find any. Anywhere she went, she could not find any sweet tea. We don't have sweet tea in the West either. So I'll let my mom know. Don't plan any trips out west. She might want to stay here in the southern states where she can keep her favorite beverage, which is a glass of sweet tea. Anyway, thank y'all for watching. We love you so much. Keep our babies in your thoughts and prayers. Keep each other in your thoughts and prayers. There's people dealing with this heat, y'all. There's farmers dealing with as bad, if not worse than what we got. And we thank you for your time and your patience and just being who you are. Deanna, your Southern goodbye is about over. Nice talking to you all, and we'll see you on the next video.